substances. We're talking about sassy, you're the biggest fucking drug guy. We're talking fucking drugs. All right, so when people use drugs, pretty much it's a powder, it's a liquid, or it's something they're smoking. You know what I mean? Like, is it really that impressive? You know, like, so cocaine, apparently it's like a yellow paste, then it sort of dries in the microwave and becomes like a white powder. It changes color. But yeah, apparently with cocaine and heroin, the two plants they come from, you think you get these like gangs, like these international crime syndicates and nationality groups, OMCGs, whatever. You think the criminals would hydroponic set up the two plants to make heroin and cocaine, and just hydroponically set up, like get the right soil, temperatures, humidity, have the hydro light setups, fertilize everything, and then sort of make their own heroin. Like you'd have some bikies in Australia, OMCGs, hypothetically hydroponic setup for cocaine plant, hydroponic setup for heroin plant, and start moving the cocaine themselves. You know what I mean? Moving the heroin themselves. That would make more sense instead of sort of middleman in it, or a person from a person from a person who has organized it through other people for it to come to Terra Australis, Great Southern Land, Australia. You know what I mean? Like, so I always thought like these crime figures and that, if they were that smart, you know, encrypted messages, coding, dark web, you know, other signal methods or whatever, you think they would realize if you're using www, the World Wide Web, it is there forever. So I could hypothetically import, let's say I've got more ice than Antarctica. We're on, baby. Purely hypothetical sarcasm. I will hypothetically to bring that ice in. The thing with that is, if I use any telecommunication device or www, World Wide Web, they could find it in 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 years, or 5 decades. We've got 8 billion plus people every 25, 30 years, population doubles in a bit. So they will eventually find it, is the thing. I hate to be the guy that does the import 5 seconds later, get notified, 5 hours later is arrested. You'd hate to be that bloke. But anyways, then when it comes to pingers, it's just powderized and binder, and it's pressed into a pill to like a solid. But at the same time, you know, whether you snort it, pop it, you put in liquid, drink it, whatever you do, you're pretty much just putting a substance through your saliva or into your blood, and then it's being circulated through your body and goes to all your organs, etc. That's why I reckon with ice, when the chemicals are interacting, expanding, and contracting, when they go in your bloodstream and go through your brain, that's when they reckon it burns holes in the brain. Then it calls someone something very nice. Could just say they've got fucking holes in their brain, and chances are it's true if they are a crystal methamphetamine user. There's different ways to cook meth from my understanding. You've got like lab methamphetamine, so they're made in a lab, things like pseudoephedrine, battery acids, paint strippers, other chemicals, components, etc. You can also color it. It would make more sense to color it like a liquid dye in the mix. So like if you're a gang, so you were like, well, I would just make up a name. Say you're the RYZAHs. You're the RYZAHs OMCG, you hectic cunts, whatever. And your meth is green or purple or something, or blue. And when you're distributing it, when it gets cut, if it changes the color of blue, essentially you know it's been cut, someone's tampered with your product or whatever. And then you would know what gang you're getting it from, which club you're supporting or whatever. Same with other gangs or whatever, who you're getting it from, whatever. Then if someone used your color, there'd be some sort of problem or issue or whatever. But when it comes to drugs, when it comes to heroin and ice and things people inject cocaine too, a lot of fentanyl, apparently that's quite common. But see, all you're really doing is just putting a liquid into your bloodstream. So it's a quicker hit because it's gone into your bloodstream. But see, the problem with that is if you put the needle into the wrong spot, into an artery, or you get an air bubble, or someone's mixed a bag, you could be a diabetic and someone could put heaps of sugar in a bag of meth and have it all crushed. So it's just bad powderized, you know, got a bit crushed. They could have like a diabetic episode from all the sugar. Essentially, I've heard a few people around the local area, there's a lot of ice in the northern beaches of Sydney, people like the valve in their heart explodes or something. Well, that's just part of it, you know. If someone's going to, you know, take the risk of using drugs, they've got to hit the reality, you know, there is a chance that they're not going to make it, you know what I mean? But then again, it's like anything. You could walk down the street, get hit by a bus. You can never use drugs in your life. Your neighbour's smoking meth. You both walk out. Then you get struck by lightning, and you're the good Samaritan. But then you think, how the fuck does that work? Well, mate, sometimes a nice guy doesn't always win, and not so lucky, eh? But yeah, another mention about marijuana. So apparently, marijuana is pretty much a weed. It's not a plant, but the THC. Apparently, the weed produces THC. So when it's budding, it's like a bug repellent. So THC is essentially a bug repellent for the weed that when a human uses it, it gets them high. So when my parents or whatever knew people who smoked marijuana, the THC was a bug repellent. But people just think it's, it's just weed, it's pot. It's called dope because it makes people dope, but that's besides the point. So their generation didn't have all the chemicals added and all this sort of stuff. So it wasn't as bad. These days, a lot of people getting schizophrenia, bipolar, psychosis, not just from the THC bug repellent, but other chemicals and components in it. Essentially, it's unnatural to get something, add heaps of chemicals in it, smoke it, get high from it, know it's affecting your brain and keep doing it, you know what I mean? But yeah. Now these days, you've got a lot of GMO strains of marijuana and that too, the THC bug repellent. So it's quite interesting. Look, smokers are jokers, but it's only cool to an extent. You don't want to be that bloke, old mate, sit in a room all day, be 50 years old and been doing it for 35 years, you know what I mean? Dragon, breathe fire. Yeah, but yeah, it's quite interesting. Then, in a sense of the subjects we've covered about cocaine, better yellow paste that dries white, talking about needles, etc., dyeing crystal meth, and then other things like the THC is actually a weed repellent for bugs when the weed is trying to bud. Essentially, all plants try and reproduce, whether it's rain, wind, human propagation, which was before relied upon animals, or they'll do root sprouts, or the plant will fall and rejuvenate, etc. Yeah, the dragon. Cat done. Yeah, the dragon. But yeah, a lot of drugs these days. I think Sydney, especially Australia wide, areas like the Gold Coast, there's a lot of a epidemic of drugs. I think a lot of people are using drugs, not working, getting diagnosed schizophrenia, bipolar, ending up on welfare, becoming a burden to the tax system. But at the end of the day, does it really matter when the government's sending, billions and billions of dollars overseas to countries who, not exactly don't deserve it, but who aren't going to pay it back? So yeah, so when you get Albo and the other 20 prime ministers, they've all allowed it. They'll just send so much money overseas, and then like you get some bloke on the street who wants housing, but all the foreigners or refugees get the housing first. Then he doesn't have many entitlements as he thought he may have. So it kind of goes the wrong way, unfortunately. But that's the same in every country, whether it's England or any Commonwealth country, Canada, New Zealand, America, whatever. It doesn't matter. The foreigners and refugees will get housing before someone born there or the ancestry of people who've contributed to that country. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. And it's sometimes there's no point dwelling on something that you can't change. No point complaining about something that you can't change. Yeah, it's interesting in politics, eh? Like they're all in a room talking shit to each other. It's kind of funny, eh? Like you got all those randoms, like these high educated people talking shit, trying to relate to like the general public, who they wouldn't ever go and shake their hand with unless it was, on camera. It's all about the publicity, baby. Like if it wasn't a promotional, like online stunt to get popularity, they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? They just wouldn't do it. So back to the subjects of drugs, we're talking GMOs, marijuana being a bug repellent, being a weed, not a plant. And then we're talking about propagation, yellow paste cocaine. We're talking about meth. You've got meow, which is like a bathtub made meth. Then you've got shake and bake meth, is when you make it in a bottle. Imagine that, you're just shaking it out, like shake, shake, shake it. It just blows up in your hand, you lose your fucking hand, you know what I mean? Like, you know that song by Metro Station? It's like, I saw you dancing and I couldn't keep you off my mind. You were sick, bang, there goes your hand. High five. You know what's that expression? You need a hand? Oh, fuck, I don't got one, you know what I mean? Or from the shake and bake, meow, and then there's lab meth. But yeah, as I was saying before, I think those the gangs and all that sort of stuff should hydroponic set up, the right temperatures, humidity, soil ratios. You think the bikies would have the seeds for the heroin plants, the bikies have the seeds for the cocaine, and just make their own cocaine in Australia, make their own heroin in Australia, And maybe if they go to the cartels and go, look, if you give us all the seeds and we set it up, we'll do 20 of them, hit and miss, trial and error with the cops or whatever. And then from that stage, they give royalties, like something like that. Or we'll do royalties or a favor or do some political bullshit to allow this to keep happening. Like they allow themselves to be taxed by the cartels, and the cartels keep sending seeds and random stuff to keep the heroin plants going and the cocaine plants going. That would make more sense. Have you ever looked at like a criminal and they're a drug trafficker and you'd be like, surely you just got the seeds by now and do your own heroin and cocaine? But no, like, it's like meth. Why would you get meth from overseas when you get the pseudoephedrine, etc., and just make the meth here? You ever seen like Breaking Bad? Just like shave the head. All right, I'll just pick up some junkie off the street. Breaking Bad, son. We're changing the world. You know what I mean? One drug addict at a time. But yeah, one thing I think is actually quite interesting when it comes to drugs. It's like you got a different type of character, personality. You got the stoners. The stoners are nice, happy, friendly. They're chummy. They're doing their thing. Like, yeah, man. Then you got the pill heads. They're sort of just talking about festivals, going to festivals, all this sort of stuff, music festivals. You know what I mean? Then you get like you get your speed users, your amphetamines, it's revved up all the time, love and laugh of the dream. Then you get your crackheads. There's two types of crackheads. You got your junkie putrid dog who's got no morals. Then you got that one bloke, mate. If anything, he's working harder to get another hit. This guy's a career entrepreneur. This guy's doing everything to make money to get on the drugs. You know what I mean? Like, it's half a joke, but you got the addict who's like a deadbeat. You got the addict who's like doing everything they can, working, fucking this, that, business goals, just to try and get more shit. I remember I had a mate, he goes, if anything, I'll work fucking harder. It was so fucking funny. I was smoked a bit of it too, but yeah, it is what it is. Wendy Davison, hi. That's a lot of eyes. Man, guy said I'm cool. Well, at least someone. Can you shout me out? Or can I eat you out? Oh, you mean shout me out? So I thought you were talking about something completely different. Wendy, thanks. Oh, there's maybe some kind of confusion or misconception of what she may want. Can you share? Well, you want some fucking drugs? I'm a sub now. Oh, thanks, Wendy Davidson. Just subscribe, leave your address. I'll send you, some drugs in the mail. So rock up, a couple of pingers. What a nice guy. I'll send you it's actually kind of funny. Have you ever found with drugs, you can make up some random name for pills and people will believe it? I could be like, oh, just the red Mitsubishi's fucking double stacked MDMA, took absolute rubbish. And people will be like, yeah, I fucking had those, eh? You're like, what? I could just be like, you ever had Green Diamonds Ace Press from fucking Holland? They'll be like, yeah, I have. You know what I mean? They've had something with a similar name or a similar substance. It's kind of funny though with the pills though. They want to do pill testing right, but I think the problem is you've got the shit in, and then they sort of say like, okay, we'll test it. I think the biggest concern is will they give it back? You know what I mean? These made up hypothetical pills, so they get them back, they pop them, do their thing, have the euphoria time of their life. I remember I got with this chick when I was on MDMA when I was like real young. Everything was like accentuated per se. So I wasn't like God's gift to women or anything, but I was quite ripped back then, like abs, fresh. I was pretty staunch for like a 15-year-old. But yeah, so we got with this chick, and it was the most amazing experience of my life back then because the euphoria, everything felt like accentuated, you know what I mean? But in reality, I'm probably peeking, tweaking, eyes dilating, like fucking doing crack shit. And she's probably just because I was like, at that stage, I was quite good looking. I've gone downhill over the years. Anyways, Wendy Davidson, when am I sending you some gear in the mail? Can you? I can't believe. I thought she meant like lick her out, like rubber pussy, get 3 wishes, like a genie or something. Yeah, she actually meant, can you shout me out? So, which made no sense. I thought she said like, can you eat me out? I just thought it was really inappropriate. But yeah, anyways, it is what it is, mate. Anyone else want to comment something? This chick loves just like dragging on letters on her phone, just like, duh. But yeah, it's hard being a Australian Aussie battler, living the dream. Sydney, Australia. Yeah, some guy thought I was part Israeli the other day. Like, I genuinely thought I was part Israeli. You know why my nose is so big? The air's free. Green. Favorite color of money. $100 bill, baby. But no, I'm not actually Israeli at all. I'm Aussie born, obviously, predominantly Scottish. Mate, get some fucking haggis into you. A bit mental. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm not a drop Israeli. So it was actually quite interesting. I don't know why he thought I was half Israeli. Like, do you see it? Wendy Davison, do you think I look part Israeli? Because some bloke at the hairdresser with the barber, he thought I was like half Israeli or something. I don't see it, eh? Do you see it? Don't see it. Yeah, so predominantly Scottish, a bit of Irish, but that's just like your typical, Aussie. Like I know blokes are Aussie, they're like Polynesian, bit English or like Welsh, or they're Asian, they got a bit of like Scottish, or like they're Indian, but they're a bit English. Quite common when you go to Australia. It's such a multicultural country. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. This just has light shining on me. Like, fucking hell, it's God. Zeus throwing lightning strikes at me, bit of electricity, bit of an electric feel. But yeah, so back to what we're talking about. We're talking about pills, heroin, ice, Greek, Malacca. Man, if I had black hair and a bit of like oil on my skin, I reckon I could pull off being Greek. Hey, yeah. So Oz Game Collector, you legend. We're talking about drugs before, like cocaine, many yellow paste, and then put in the microwave, dries white. I talk about different meth manufacturing, all this sort of stuff. So you've come in at probably the most randomest time you possibly could have had. So it's a sense of being a random add-in at like 2 in the morning, mate. You're on point. You've done it right. This is your time day, time to shine. Yeah. But yeah, this is actually the 50 Shades of McGiffin podcast. So how I came up with 50 Shades of McGiffin, obviously McGiffin's my last name, but there was this sex book. It was called like 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, 155, yeah, something like that. But yeah, so the book 50 Shades is. I'm not like a sex addict or anything like that. Don't think I'm God's gift to women and just killing it, because I'm not. I probably could. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, so the last name and then the 50 Shades of the last name. It was a bit of a sarcastic play of words. Like it's just a take on this book. I've never read the book or anything like that, but yeah, 50 Shades of McGiffin podcast. Imagine that, just that's an online trend. 50 Shades McGrath, 50 Shades Rafferty, 50 Shades. Yeah, just like random people doing it. 50 Shades of podcast. It's got to be like, every bloke around into it. But yeah, one thing I think is interesting about YouTube, at first going live, I'm like, no, 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 live. It's actually kind of funny going live when people start commenting and saying stuff, and you sort of like interacting with text. But it's kind of funny. Like some people, they're a good sport and they know like I'm joking, but yeah, it's just interesting, like putting yourself out there online. It's not like I'm gonna get fame or anything like that. I'm relevant in that sense. But people make content essentially to try and get paid for it. Depends if the content's good, but like if people are making the content and making money, look, happy days. From my understanding, so 1,000 subscribers is 20 AUD, so $20 Australian. Then once you have enough public views, short views, and 1,000 plus subscribers, they pay you weekly. So $20 monthly, but they pay it weekly. So divided by four. So you get $5 a week, four times, that's $20 for the month. Then 2,000 times it by two. Then you get 10,000 subs. Then it's obviously $200. You'd be getting $50 a week. Rah, rah, roo, roo. But yeah, I think YouTube's a great platform. I went on Google Ads. There wasn't much information or anything, no tutorial, no real anything. There was no much assistance or anything. It was quite like disappointing, because Google is a $2 trillion+ company. Then YouTube is apparently what is it, 455 billion or something. Apparently Google and all its other ownerships and that all combined is about 5 trillion plus. So if you think you got money, mate, you're wrong. Google. Google it. Why am I broke? Siri. Ryan, you're broke because you go live and talk about drug addict shit. Okay, Siri. All right, we got Wendy going to bed. No worries. Sweet dreams. Think about me. Oz Game Collector sub, mate. Good on you. Mate, thanks for sub. Really tried about 2 in the morning. No, yeah, a bit of sarcasm. But yeah, man, it's all good. Yeah, now we're talking about other drugs. We're talking about the tobacco trade. Shaq owns a part of Google. That's why. Yeah. Look, Shaq, apparently he's got gyms, business franchises. He's got a shoes thing. But see, he's very entrepreneurial. He invests in a lot of stuff. While someone like Mark Zuckerberg apparently owns like 5 different social medias or something, Instagram, Facebook, now Meta, etc., Threads, whatever. Then you got Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and all this other space stuff. Elon Musk, pretty entrepreneurial too. At the end of the day, there's probably about 10 people that could be the first trillionaire. There's a sense of trillionaire, but it depends. What do you measure success in? A lot of people say money. They'll say success is a financial thing. Some people think it's an emotional intelligence, a qualifications, it's a fitness thing, or it's a all aspects thing. But a lot of people will see success based on someone's wealth. But as someone who's worth, say, 300 billion, is it 300 billion in property? Is it 300 billion in the bank? Or more likely it's 300 billion over a variety of factors. Will I be streaming tomorrow? You know what? I probably will be. I probably have nothing else to do. I'm in a temporary accommodation. I'm actually homeless at the moment, but yeah, you know what? I'll stream tomorrow. I'll talk a bit of fucking random shit. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm in. I'm keen. I got very clean teeth for someone who's a smoker. Cool, I'll be there. Wendy, we should meet up and do a stream together just for the lols. Just talk sarcasm, play words, banter, talk shit. You know what I mean? Where are you based, Wendy? You said you're saying about Australia or Sydney or something? Yeah, but you get a lot of these tech companies are very successful. Apparently, WhatsApp, he was about 50 plus. Then his tech company went big. Canberra, looks like I'm going down to Canberra to see her. Yeah. So, anyways, bit of ACT. So yeah. So apparently, what was I talking about again? I got lost with this whole ACT Canberra thing. You startled me, Wendy. Have you ever heard how people think accents are sexy? They'd be like, "Oh, I love a chick with a Spanish accent." Then there's this accent. It's Welsh, like Wales. I saw this chick. She was Welsh. I had to serve her once. I was working at this cafe when I was young. It was the most attractive accent I've ever heard in my life. The Welsh. But then some people are weird and like Indian or something. They're like, "Tiga, brother," and they'd be like, "Oh, just getting shivers and shit." Like Jesus. But then someone like me, I'd hear that and I'd be like, "So what?" You know what I mean? I guess everyone's got their preferences per se, but mate, at the end of the day, look, people are into some weird shit. I think that's sort of the reality of situation. Teltra Australia, how are you? Yeah, homes at the moment, temporary accommodation, so not properly on the street, sort of on and off that, but 28, immigrants, refugees, they get housing before me. Then obviously you got billions and billions of foreign spending, so I'm obviously not a priority. I'll need to go now actually this time. Okay. See you, Wendy. Sweet dreams. Enjoy. Yes, bye, Wendy. Yes, bye. Go to sleep. It's fine. It's cool. It's all good. But yeah, have you guys ever been on any dating apps recently? Like, so I was on Tinder and I'm like just liking everything. It's generated liking anything, everything. You get an advertisement, you're like a chick, and you're like, no, it's just a ad for like some random online screaming or something. Amphetamines, Greek lads cooking cheese on the corner in the morning. Yeah, I can imagine that. A few wogs cooking some fucking goat milk feta cheese at Santorini. Ah, fucking, you know what I mean? I can imagine something like that. But yeah, so AM amphetamines, eh? Yeah, so basically what we're saying before, talking about fucking drugs. Ron, you're the biggest fucking drug guy. Sussy, please. You ever seen that Tripper Snipper thing? I remember that comedy flick, the animation. I was probably like 15, and it came out and it had like 60 views on it. It was like the Big Les show. Ended up being on Comedy Central. Look good on them. But yeah, apparently you know this big in America like Blue Dog or some like cartoon like an Aussie blue cattle dog or something. Apparently that guy was some guy working at a post office who was like 40 because my mate went to a post office one day. He's like, "Oh, I'm working on my cartoon. It's called like Blue Dog or some shit," and showed him a few like images of it and that. Then years later, there's this show apparently it's big in America, Bluey or like the Blue Cattle, something like that. Apparently, it actually made it, and he thought it might have been him. Went on Google, turns out it actually was him. So a bit of deja vu coincidence, but yeah, happy days. Some Greek lads cooking cheese on the corner in the morning. Imagine that. Malacca, Malacca, get your amphetamine, AM amphetamine. Mangoes, mangoes, where the mangoes, the women go because the man goes. Cherrylicious, bit of fruiterer shit going on, Flemington markets. Man, honestly, happy fucking days. You know, it's actually kind of funny. So this is 25 minutes and 29 seconds. My hand is like cramping up. Like, you know, on a poking machine, you hit the machine so many times, your sort of fingers are sort of twitching and sweating. I'm in the same situation, holding my phone. You know what's funny? I'm in temporary accommodation. There's probably like 50 motherfuckers asleep. This is like 2 in the morning. And I'm like, 50 shades of my Giffen podcast. I feel sorry for this guy say. Just out of a bit of decency, common courtesy, I might have to end this live just out of respect for other people. Anyways, 50 Shades of my Giffen podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever you want. Love me or hate me. It's 50 Shades of my Giffen podcast. How do I exit this thing? I'll press this X. Bye, Wendy. Oh, my hand, it's cramping. To even press the OK button, I have to use the other hand.